Oh, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic dropping a car vlog, a live car vlog, my first one since returning from Japan. I landed yesterday at 3:30 back in the States. I was supposed to land 3:30 on Sunday back in the States, but the flight got canceled and yeah, it's a lot of stuff, but I thank God that I'm here. Nobody tells you today, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I'm praying that you guys and gals are having a good day, a good summer. God bless you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Take It On podcast where I talk about professional wrestling topics and I put in my matches as classic out for a professional wrestler of 14 years. I got a lot of my matches from the past, the present, and future matches will also be on this playlist as well, so make sure you pay attention to that. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. Despite everything that is going on with me and my wife, known as the matriarch, still a great company. August 15th is the big payback, the next show for C3 Ultimate Wrestling. Harold's Private Venue, Dyer, Indiana. Tickets are on sale now. They are $5 off on Eventbrite. There'll be $5 more at the door. Bars. God bless. God bless. I'm doing great. How are you? I didn't go to Jamaica. I went to Japan. I went to Jamaica before. Jamaica was fun, and Japan was also fun. The only thing I didn't like about Japan was that my flight got canceled, and I had to wait basically 24 hours to get back on the airplane, and it's a 12-hour flight too. So I'm so tired. Yesterday was supposed to be my off day, to where I'm trying to rest and relax and get used to my scheduling, but man, I'm so tired. Like, I flew back in yesterday. I was supposed to fly back in Sunday, but still. It was fun. The food was great. The entertainment was great. I liked the atmosphere. Very, very good. You know, it was so peaceful to go somewhere else and see so many people that's just peaceful. So I only come back into the Chicago airport to see two people fighting in the middle of the street of the arrival terminal. But other than that, everything was good. It's good. I do recommend, but like I said, that bad part was just my flight, got canceled. But yeah. Also, make sure you tune in to Honey I'm Bored. That is the episodic show on C3 Ultimate Wrestling, and it's also on Facebook. It's showing what I'm going through dealing with my wife, because even though she betrayed me, betrayed a lot of people, we still live together. And we still live under one roof. So you want to see how we've been dealing with each other, you look at that on the C3 page and subscribe. I wanted to talk about three things. Yeah, fighting. Like, me and the matriarch don't even fight like that. But anyway, I wanted to talk about three things. Now, I'm in Japan, so they are 15 hours ahead of us. So technically, like, today is Tuesday. It's Wednesday in Japan. That's their dates. That's how they do certain things, right? So anyway, there were three things. Jade's wig. I wanted to talk about Roman, and then something happened like during last week with Tommy Dreamer. So let's talk about Jade. Now, was it last week's episode of SmackDown? Her wig. She slipped out of her wig, basically. She slipped out of her wig. The first spot, Charlotte grabbed her hair, and then I guess she pulled too hard, and then Jade pulled it back on, and then they committed to like the superplex, and then like you see some of Jade's scalp, and you can tell that she was discouraged. So let's talk about that. People deem it as a wardrobe malfunction. I agree. Hair is part of a wardrobe sometimes, especially if you have to attach and unattach it. This isn't the first time I've seen hair that ain't theirs, or hair pieces like fall. I remember Alexa Bliss, she had a match. Her extensions came out like, I don't know, glued. I don't know how hair works on the women's side. I've seen tracks. I've seen Charlotte tracks. I've seen certain things. You've seen exposed shortness of hair or hair that ain't there. I've seen it before. I don't think to this extent. And I know that Jade's, one of her biggest fears was like her wig falling off or coming off during the match. And it happened. And like I said, I'll say this. I think she just should have just kept the short bob or whatever she had, the short wigs and stuff like that. Like, to me, when she started wearing more hair, I ain't even gonna lie. I used to look like, man, I hope your wig don't fall off. And I don't say that like in a bad or derogatory term, as some people will probably think I am. But it's just a lot of hair. It's so much hair. Like, when she was in AEW, she didn't have that much hair, like wrestling with and stuff like that. It's just so big and fluffy and luxurious. And it's like, the more hair, the more error. I don't know. I tried to say something clever, it didn't work. But still, hey, accidents do happen. Like I said, I remember even in AEW, or was it ROH? Queen Aminata went against Layla Gray, and Layla Gray's wig fell off, and Layla, she continued her match, and they said that Jade continued hers. So still, like I said, man, these are the consequences, or potential consequences, of wearing extensions or a wig in a wrestling match. I'm sure this is something that she'll probably laugh at in the future. She may still feel embarrassed. I know she has went online and she showed people pictures of when she was rocking the shortcut, the pixie or whatever it's called. Like, she was showing people and stuff, saying like, hey, I've been the baddest. Now, honestly, I think that she should wear the shortcut, honestly. To be honest with y'all, hey, look, she don't need to wear the wigs. Wear the shortcut. The shortcut was fire. She's fire. So she should wear the shortcut. I don't think that she needs to wear the wigs and stuff, but if she chooses to, that's her prerogative or whatever like that. I've seen one time when Becky Lynch and Bianca was fighting one time, and they was fighting. I remember Becky pulled Bianca's ponytail, the long one. She pulled it off, but she didn't pull it, but she shifted it that you actually saw Bianca's real ponytail, and it was a lot shorter than the long ponytail that she be having on TV. Like, we know they wigs and extensions and all that. We know what it is and stuff like that. But still, I thought that was kind of crazy. Like, they was like really scrapping, and you saw Bianca's actual ponytail being unraveled from the long ponytail she be whipping people with. Hey, it happens. It may take time for her to or maybe laugh at. Some people are like, oh, I've seen digitized pictures of her bald head when it comes to laughter. And it doesn't mean that it's disrespectful. Like, don't get me wrong, I do. There's a lot of people who like that for what she does and stuff. Maybe she's not have it, but she's going to do what she want to do, I don't think it's something that, like, that means she's a bad wrestler because her wig fell. Like, some people are going too deep into the situation and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm sure it is very, very embarrassing and a traumatizing thing that happened when it comes to the wig. Now, I don't know if they're going to put that in a storyline. I think they should, but it is what it is. Roman Reigns. I wanted to talk about Roman Reigns, and I wanted to talk about something that I think a lot of us have come to the generalization for Roman. Nobody is going to boo Roman Reigns. Doesn't matter if he's sending Jacob to attack somebody that people don't like already. Doesn't matter that he beat Jacob Fatu. Doesn't matter that he beat CM Punk. Doesn't matter that he keeps saying we. He ain't even French. It don't matter. I just think that people are not going to boo Roman Reigns. You may have a little boos, but you're not. They're going to be drawn out with cheers and acknowledging him. Listen, legendary status for Roman Reigns. Then also another thing, which one of the wrestlers I used to be cool with spoke about. Roman beat cancer. His cancer's in remission. So a lot of people aren't going to try to take the time to boo somebody that basically had cancer, right? Like, even then, some people was booing him when they did the thing with Sami Zayn and stuff like that. But still, people love Roman. They want to see Roman. They're buying tickets to Raw to see Roman and stuff like that because they want to see Roman. And they love him. And honestly, people are cherishing what Roman is doing because a lot of people feel like he's going to be out the door soon. So now they want to look at Roman. They want to see him talk, wrestle. Which, and I also want to reiterate, I don't think a champion they don't need to wrestle every week. I understand workhorse titles like the United States title, Intercontinental title, and stuff like that. But I don't think champions especially the top champions, I don't think they need to wrestle every week. They need to find somebody that's a worthy opponent, or that worthy opponent finds them and stuff like that. They don't need to wrestle every week. It's fine. It's definitely fine. You want to preserve your champion. They're champion for a reason. They're the face of the company for the time being, right? So I don't think they need to wrestle every week. I know a lot of people feel a certain way about it. You know, hey, I don't think they should be taking months off from not wrestling your champion. But at the same time, I don't think that they need to fight every week. That's definitely fine. Definitely fine with them not wrestling every week. You get what I'm saying? But still, I don't think Roman is definitely someone that people are not going to, they're not going to boo, they're not going to hate. They love Roman, and they're cherishing Roman because we don't know. This may be his final run as a wrestler, or as a full-time wrestler. He may be going off to the sunset to Hollywood or whatever ventures he wants. He want to be a family man with his family and stuff. Still, you know, for the most part, what they are doing with the bloodline, it's alright. I mean, it's alright. I mean, this storyline's been going on for a long time. There's never going to be an end to it. Now, as a family man myself, I'm fine with a storyline like this, like taking breaks and then going back into it and revisiting it. It does look like maybe, I don't know. Jacob has his own Ulafala version of it, and the Usos, they don't like it, obviously, because they didn't get one. So curious to see, you know, Jacob acknowledges Roman and Roman only. So curious to see how the story is going to play out. Will Jacob eventually face Roman and take the Ulafala and be the new tribal chief or whatever like that? Because honestly, there's going to be a time where that torch has to be passed if they want to do it. It's up to them. You know, a lot of people said the tidbit that they noticed was that The Rock wasn't mentioned when Roman said bloodline. Yokozuna was, his dad was, his uncle was, Umaga was, like a lot of other people were acknowledged, but The Rock wasn't. So Aaron T was King of the Rings. My day's going fine. How's everything going with you? Are you ready for King of the Ring this Saturday? Are you ready for the Great American Bash? Are you ready for the Forbidden Door? Jay Uso, my money is on the ring. I had to look at the card for King of the Ring. I know Jade and Ova's in the finals for the King, and then for the Queen, it is Liv and who is Liv going against? Because it's still confusing that Liv is a champion and she's in the Queen of the Ring. So I'm assuming she's probably going to win both titles, because I know that Rhea is allegedly hurt, so that's kind of crazy. But still, who is Liv supposed to be going against in the finals? But anyway, it's a lot of tournaments. You know, they got the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, and then, you know, the OR tournament on AEW. I know the finals for that is Maya World versus Mercedes Moné. But still, I think because Triple H wants nothing to do with The Rock. Honestly, The Rock, I don't think needs to be near the WWE ring. I don't think he does. I don't think he needs to. First of all, the business has already been exposed, but then when you're an OG in the game and you expose it more, because you're making it seem like it's like a Hollywood movie, and it's not a Hollywood movie, it's professional wrestling. Yes, the curtain is open. A lot of people know certain things. A lot of people watch Unreal and stuff like that. But, you know, to bash the company that you was wrestling for, and you was part of a storyline saying I wasn't there because I wasn't needed, and then you said you could have did this better, you would have did this better because you're part of the board of the TKO. Yeah, I don't think he needs to be a part of it, honestly. I don't think he needs to. There's no chance for The Rock to come back. You know, like I said, I didn't think that he needed to be a part of this storyline, period, with John Cena turning heel. John Cena didn't need to work with The Rock at all, but they made it seem like it. John Cena literally needed help from Travis Scott to beat Cody Rhodes, guys. I will never let you guys live that down. I will never let y'all live that down. Travis Scott helped John Cena beat Cody Rhodes for the Never Seen 17 title. And Travis Scott, shortly afterwards, have never been seen since. He's never been seen since. Never been seen. We see in Jelly Roll. But we seen Travis Scott roll out. Now ain't talking about the Ludacris song. After Mania. Yeah, 41 was not good. How do you go from a great show of 40 to 41 is beyond me. The match, even like Cody and Cena, that match was so slow paced. It was horrible. Travis Scott took forever to get into the ring. It was just so horrible. It was such a disappointment. Yeah, Travis definitely left. Yeah, Cena definitely could have been a heel without The Rock's involvement. Like, he didn't sell his soul to The Rock. John Cena does movies and commercials and stuff, makes millions of dollars without it. So it didn't make no sense for him to do that. Oh, we're going to work with The Rock. Like, he didn't even, I guess. Who was Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 43 is bringing The Rock back to baseball? Wouldn't be surprised because Saudi Arabia, they have pull on who they want to see for their events. You know, sometimes they don't even be knowing who they're. Like, one time they wanted the Ultimate Warrior Yokozuna to be there. I'm like, Yokozuna passed, and the Warrior passed too. So, like, how y'all gonna show up with their caskets? Like, like, what y'all trying to do here? Like, what's going on? And you know, sometimes they'll book certain things, and of course they will probably want like The Rock. They will probably want like Stone Cold and stuff like that. So, curious to see. Like, curious to see how they're gonna use them and flip it. But yeah, I don't care for Rock and Roman. Yeah, I don't want to see The Rock versus Roman. I think that is past already. That is past already. Like, what are they fighting for? They fighting for supremacy. Everybody calls Roman the tribal chief. No, you know, like, honestly, the way that they were gonna do it, they put it on a bad platter too. It was horrible. It was horrible how they did it. It was like, okay, Cody's a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. Worked very hard to be a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. And says, you know what? I don't want to face you. I'm going to give my opportunity that I worked hard for to The Rock. So The Rock and Roman Reigns could face each other for the title. Like, why would a Royal Rumble winner give up their once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to main event WrestleMania? No sense at all. And The Rock, and then they made the behind the scenes. Did y'all see the behind the scenes of the WrestleMania? Like, did you hear how self-centered The Rock was? Like, he was like, oh, we wanted to do it like this. No, you wanted to do it like this. You felt that it was going to be a bigger WrestleMania match. And I'll say this, I would have been curious to see, but look at the expense of how y'all made Cody Rhodes feel and do. It's kind of crazy. If this was the plan, then Cody shouldn't have won the Royal Rumble. To just give it away? Crazy. WrestleMania 40 was perfect time. Yeah, it definitely was not. Well, I haven't seen Shane McMahon in it. Yeah, we haven't seen Drew got it, but he has some more time. Yeah, where is Drew? Where is Drew been? I know Shane is not with the company anymore. I think they trying to keep Shane up out of there. I think when people took pictures, when that picture came out with Tony and Shane at the airport talking, I think that really made WWE feel a certain way, especially like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, Shane's sister. I don't know. But yeah, you know, because he was at Raw on Netflix, I believe, the beginning. Oh, he was on one show, and he was in the crowd, but they didn't promote that Shane McMahon was in the crowd. He was just in there, and like people were taking pictures that was sitting by him or was sitting across from him, like Shane McMahon was there, but they didn't make an announcement that Shane was there. Like Dana White and streamers and Asho Speed and Casanat, Jelly Roll, a lot of these people get like announcements that they're in the building. Shane literally was in the building just watching the show. I think it was a PLE though. He's just watching the show, and then people was just like, oh, they ain't announced him at all. Oh, Shane. Yeah, they don't like Shane. Honestly, I do think that some of it is Shane's doing too. Shane, one time, was in charge of constructing one of the Royal Rumble matches. And that one time he was supposed to do it, he made himself in the Final Four. Mind you, Shane is black and gray hair, looks like his dad. Was already tired, winded, face blown up, looking like the color, it looked like the color purple. Like, why did Shane, who wasn't even an active wrestler on a roster, why was he Final Four? For what reason? And I think a lot of people talked about that, and that's when they actually released him from WWE. And then ever since then, we've seen him, show up sometimes in the crowd. We've seen him talking to Tony in the picture and stuff like that. We've seen all kind of stuff. So it was that year. Yeah. Yes, at the house. Yeah. The Rock. Rock. Yeah. Well, when it comes to the fight, maybe for the time. So, yeah, that wig was not secure. That wig was that Issa Rae show. It was insecure, and like I said, eventually she'll laugh at it. I know she ain't gonna laugh at it now, but still, and that was crazy. But you know, us men can't tell women to rock natural. Then we hate women, so it had nothing to do with it. My name Bennett, and I ain't in it. But still, with Roman and stuff like this bloodline thing, people just gonna rock with Roman. They like Fatu. They still like the Usos. I know a lot of people online are turning around and saying, "Oh, Jey Uso sucks and they don't like him no more," and blah 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 blah. And yeah, I do think that fresh blood would have been okay, but he has great matches when they're needed to be. He ain't gotta have all 5-star matches and stuff. He ain't even gotta have a cardio, because every time he come out, he still be tired. That man be lit. That man be drinking with his drinking partner Cody Rhodes. Come on, man. The man still sells merch and people still like him and people still love him. And just because people on the internet, they think they the majority of wrestling takes, that doesn't mean that it's true. Doesn't mean that it's true. Roman been winning clean. Yeah. Well, he used the turnbuckle against Jacob the first time. And then when they went against each other again, it was tribal combat. And that ending was flat. It was flat. It was flat like a hot soda. It was so flat. Because it's like, I'm just going to continue his head and then do the spirit. Like, he was like, oh, well, he didn't need the Usos' head. Still, I guess, it is what it is. But, so, next, Tommy Dreamer. Apparently, Tommy Dreamer left TNA, or TNA let him go, and he was very, very emotional. Smithsonian married Tommy before Jacob trying to say Jacob losing. Not really, because everyone does say he wasn't clean to bloodline. Yeah, he wasn't clean no bloodline. Yeah, he did it by himself. Tommy Dreamer apparently is not working with TNA anymore, and he was very, very emotional about it. So some people have posted videos saying, "Thank you, Tommy. I love you." Who is Tommy? Tune in list looking like a location. Tommy Dreamer, former ECW champion. He was like the heart and soul of ECW at one point. He used to get beat up. So still, he was in TNA, he was in WWE, he was a hardcore champion. I remember a whole bunch of stuff. He's in a lot of documentaries about hardcore wrestling. So he's no longer in TNA. I know he was part of like creative and stuff like that. And he was like very, very sad. TNA is releasing, or people are asking for their release from TNA. I know Tessa Blanchard, she did it. It was other people, Steve McCain, I think I'm saying his name right. There's a few other wrestlers that have asked for their release and they have been granted it. Now, I know a lot of people know that TNA is on the verge of selling itself. Well, obviously the president is selling it. Some people think it's going to go to WWE, but apparently, allegedly, they're doing business with OVW, which is crazy to me, but still, like, some people are leaving. What was another one? Sammy Callahan, I guess he was supposed to be a part of something with it, but he's out. So a lot of people are leaving. So I guess they are prepping for a sale. So with that being said, some people are showing gratitude, saying thank you, Tommy, thank you, Tommy. And some people are saying, screw you, Tommy, screw you, Tommy. Now, apparently, there's a few people who have been online saying that Tommy has said some derogatory or disrespectful things to them, and we're going to break it down. So there's a guy called Carly Bravo. He wrestles on ROH. He's part of the infantry. he said apparently Tommy said they don't know. He don't know if he can book a cocky, arrogant black guy as a character. Now, whoa, buddy. Can you just say a cocky wrestler? Do we need to say black wrestler? A cocky black wrestler? Like we see cocky white wrestlers all the time. Yeah, Scott been gone. Yeah, Scott definitely been gone. Scott was trying to put his heart, soul, and his left foot into it, but they let him go. But still, Tommy, did you really have to say cocky black wrestler? Could you just say cocky? Like, you could say, hey, we don't know what we can do with another cocky wrestler, because there's a lot of cocky wrestlers, right? So apparently, Carly didn't like that, and obviously he's saying like he's living his dream, he's doing good, big things on ROH and stuff like that. Now, I'll say this: Carly is a decent wrestler. I don't like some of his takes. Like, I remember he like posted one time Adam Page like take on like taking advice from the OGs, trying to say like they're trying to hold people down and trying to criticize when he's like on TV and stuff. So I don't like that kind of stuff. You guys know that I like learning trees and stuff like that, and I don't like when people take that kind of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, you may be living your dream and stuff and all that, and I wish you the best success, but sometimes that's just what it is. And maybe that's something that kind of rubbed on Tommy the wrong way, and that's probably why he said cocky black wrestler. Now, he shouldn't have said black. Didn't have to say that. Did not have to say that. If I had the water bottle with water, you know how people do cats, stop, just stop. But still, then there was it was a referee, and the referee was like, Tommy told him that, like, he don't know why he's in this business, so he shouldn't be in this business. Now, this referee apparently is getting a lot of bookings and stuff before the comments and stuff, but he said that basically Tommy said that he basically didn't belong in the business. Now, I'm going to say this. Hot take and honest take. I'm going to say this. Everybody's not meant to be in this wrestling business, y'all. Hey, everybody's not meant to be in the wrestling business. Some people do not take this business serious. Now, I don't know if this referee was taking the business serious back then as much as he is now. And some people would say, hey, I was just playing. I wasn't taking it as seriously as I was. But nah, if you don't take this business serious from day one, don't wrestle. Don't put your boots on, because safety is important and legitimacy and legacy is also important too. So if you don't want to wrestle, then don't wrestle. If you want to play around, they got video games for that. But nah, I've seen people, I've trained with people for 1 day or 2 days or a month, and then they never came back because either like they was just playing around or they just wasn't safe. So some wrestlers, these OG wrestlers, do have to tell some of these people, hey man, there's no way you're going to get booked. Now, you do have some that are negative, saying like you would never do this because of ABCD. Yeah, that's wrong. However, if you are playing, because sometimes people do be playing. You got a lot of people that said, I had a lot of growing up to do when I was a young wrestler and stuff like that, and I shouldn't have got booked, but I'm glad because now I understand why I need to get it together and stuff. But it's the truth. We see it. We look at American Idol. We look at America's Got Talent. We look at all of these people that be trying to sing who can't sing. And singing is not meant for them. They're not taking classes. They're not doing none of this stuff. And they're sitting here and we're looking at it. And we're agreeing with the judges that they're not meant to be singers. What makes you think wrestling is any different? Some people don't take practice and training seriously. Some people just put boots on and then just want to wrestle. You can't have that kind of theology. Some people can do it and some people cannot. So I can't sit here and say, oh, well, Tommy was right or whatever, because maybe he was. Like some people, see, social media be gassing people up, right? Because I have so much to say. I don't watch these people online or follow them on Twitter that much to be like, okay, well, they've been saying this for a long time. Because maybe they have and maybe they haven't. I don't know. Speaking of referees, did Mr. Referee retire from the biz? I'll message you about it. Shout out to you, Arshawn. Did you hear what Bully said about Moxley? Bully is all talk. Bully's what? From what I heard, I didn't hear everything. From what I heard was Bully said that he can beat up Moxley in the fight. Maybe he can. I don't know. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't be caring about these people saying they can beat people up. We grown. We are grown. Why are we talking about fighting people? Grown people. Did he say something to Bully and Bully didn't like it? We are too grown to be talking about, well, I could beat you in a fight. I could beat you in a fight. We too grown for this. Not yelling at you, Raphael. It's all love. We too grown to be like, oh, I could beat you in a fight. See, my phone fell out because of it. Because of this nonsense. My phone fell out because of this nonsense of people calling each other out for fights. Now, my Bully can beat him up. Who cares? Why they like this? I know Moxley does MMA, jiu-jitsu and stuff, and he's won stuff and he's lost stuff. Like some people saying he lost to somebody that worked at Whataburger. Now, I have nothing against nobody that worked at Whataburger. I have nothing against that. Hey, a fight is a fight. Everybody has a fighting chance. You got body parts in two hands. Bars. But still, I know some people is like defending Moxley, like, oh, Bully, you can't do this and that. But like I said, we've talked about like the older wrestlers who like be feeling threatened and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not even a fan of Jon Moxley. Sound like I'm defending him, ain't it? But I'm not a fan of Moxley. I'm not a fan of how he wrestles. I'm not a fan of what he represents as a wrestler. I still don't know the story of the Death Riders. I still don't. Now they working with Will and training Will for whatever reason. But they kidnapped Will. I don't know what's going on with the freaking Death Riders. I don't know, but still. I don't even know where this came from when Bully said it. Are they going to fight? I don't know. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. But still, I you know what I'm saying? Like what's going on, man? What is going on? What's going on, man? People want to fight other people just to say they're fighting people. I'm confusion. I am confusion. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Phone fell out. Give me 1 second. I gotta get a little gas on my phone for my thing go out. I'm gonna roll my window down so I can speak. Sorry, y'all. Duty call. Gotta get this gas. Bully won the fight. Moxley made my car run out of gas. I'm not gonna lie, he's been good with that title. I haven't seen it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, pump 1, pump 2, pump 6 in the hell of the shit. Like, I haven't seen Jon Moxley's matches like that because I feel like he's never going to change his wrestling, and I don't feel like he's a wrestler. He's just there to do what he wants because he's the heart and soul of AEW, and that's something obviously I'm not gonna take away from Moxley at all, right? But still, like, I don't even watch AEW like that. I think the last thing I watched, I did watch like some segments because I was in Japan. Like, I watched Maya World beat Athena, and she's in the Owen Hart finals against Mercedes Moné. I don't like certain things about it because, like I've said that AEW does things to make people feel good and show that they care, which is fine. But it's a certain thing, you know. Maya unfortunately lost her brother, and like they're kind of using it. Like Athena was like, "Oh, well, what about your brother? And you know, I don't like that. I like certain things, man. It's a thin line, and I didn't like it, but it is what it is. You know, it's elevating the lady who was the replacement for Nixon, whatever her name was, and her girlfriend. because they didn't like how certain things went in the AEW match and they decided to leave. But still, you know, I wish her the best and stuff, and also praying for her and her family. So, still, yeah, it's called the Intercontinental title in AEW. AEW got too many titles, just like WWE got too many titles. Yeah, the Intercontinental, the National, the International House of Pancakes title, the TNT title, TBS title. It's too many belts, man. The national title. Who's the national champion? Who's the national champion? Like, it's too many belts. What do these belts do? And there was one point, the Continental Classic, it was supposed to unify 3 belts. The Continental Classic, the ROH belt, and then the International title. Like, it's just so much stuff, yo. It's just so much stuff. But yeah, I saw, I guess Swerve and Will, they're about to face each other, and you know, and I'm sure that'll be a good match, you know. But Will is with the Death Riders, and Swerve just has Prince Nana. But yeah, I ain't really been looking at it, so you don't make a pancake title. They leaning too much on dead family members, and that's the thing. We're trying to, like I said, they're trying to have a feel-good moment. If you're going to have her win it or win these matches, just have her win it. Do we need to bring up the fact that her brother passed? Like I said, let's pray for her. Let's be there for her, and let's be supportive and stuff like that. But like I said, Tony is known to scrap plans just for a feel-good moment. Like I said, if we're in your hometown, you could probably win the world title, because that's just how Tony does things. Moments over memories. Because eventually it'll be like, okay, well, I must be winning because I'm in my hometown. You know? And like I said, there's cool to be supportive and trying to help somebody to get their mind off of something so severe. But jeez, man. Do we need to have it in the match? Do we need to have it like, did we not learn when Charlotte lost her brother Reed? And they decided to use it in a storyline with Paige and Charlotte, and people it went dead because some people didn't know who Reed was. No offense to Reed, rest in peace. But still, it was just awkward because they both didn't want to do it. So if you didn't want to do it, why did you say you want to do it? Bully want to fight people. People want to bring up relatives, but don't want to bring up relatives. And people using relatives for matches and stuff like that. And let me say this. I'm saying this as a person who has lost a brother, right? I lost my brother 11 years ago. I lost him. Love you, Cameron. My son, my youngest son is named after his uncle Cameron. But me and my son Cameron, we share the same middle name. So trust me, I know what it's like. What happened was my booker who trained me at the time did a special show called The After Effect. My brother's name on Facebook, the middle part was The After Effect. And it was a benefit show for my niece Cassidy, because my brother had my niece Cassidy. And it was a tribute show. It was a charity show and a tribute show. My homie Mark Reconcile, God bless you, brother. You know I love you. If you ever see this video, he did the videos and stuff of my brother, like moments with me, my mom, my dad, his daughter, and all of that stuff. Very, very emotional. I live in Indiana. My parents live in Texas. You guys know I'm from Texas. They flew out to see this show. So I understand getting together and trying to be supportive and show that you care and stuff like that. I definitely understand that. But not one time when I faced Mark Reconcile did he bring up my brother in a bad way or for heel heat. He came out in the shirt that said 4Cam on it. I still have that shirt. I have that shirt hung up. I'm gonna probably take a picture and send it to him. Like that was the hashtag for the show, 4Cam. You get what I'm saying? So trust me, I do understand being there and stuff like that. And I'm trying to figure out how I can help my friends dealing with a grieving heart and a grieving mind and soul, and still trying to wrestle and lace up boots and put on clothes to wrestle. Still trying to help them out with like how people help me with that. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's just certain ways that you have to do it. So, Robert Brown, what's going on, man? Now, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. But it's definitely a way to do it, right? It's definitely, honestly, Lafayette building. Sorry for the loss. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. What's going on, brother? I'm good, man. How you doing? I was older than my brother. My brother was I'm 37. He'll be 36 September 6th. That was his birthday. He'll be 36 this. He would have been 36 this year. But I also have an older brother. He's older than me. He was born in 88. I was born in 89. So still, but the kind of situations happen. They do. And wrestling can heal a heart, or they can mend it together. They can help people deal with grief. But you didn't need to say these kind of situations and stuff like that, you know. And maybe her brother was a wrestling fan. Cam was a wrestling fan, you know. I love showing my brother videos of me wrestling, because when I started wrestling, that was when he was diagnosed. And, you know, I flew out there and, you know, spent time with him and stuff, because it wasn't looking good for him at one point before it, you know, and he was healthy enough to do the chemo. And, you know, I showed him one of my matches and he liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, those kind of things is just things that you just live with forever, as long as you have the right mind and stuff like that, you know. And my family flying out to see a tribute show, because, like, as soon as I called my mom and said, hey, they want to do a tribute show for my brother, my mom and my stepdad was like, yeah, we coming out here. Heck, my dad flew out before to watch me do a show in a garage in Dalton. So, yeah, wrestling can help. Wrestling can give you family. Wrestling can mend things together and stuff like that. How you do it is very, very important, though. It's very, very important. You know, at this point, if the way they're doing it, they should just have a win it. But who knows? It's the redemption story for Mercedes Moné, apparently. Because Mercedes never won the big title. She's won everybody else's title, but she ain't won the big title. So maybe this is what they're trying to do. So we'll see. But going back to the Tommy Dreamer thing, yeah. He's usually vocal online about certain things that he likes and things that he don't like. We haven't really heard nothing from Tommy Dreamer, so I don't know. Like I said, some of these older wrestlers, they are stuck in their ways and stuck in their minds about certain things. I made videos about it, about these older wrestlers. Like, hey man, y'all wildin'. Y'all know Undertaker's one of my favorite. Is my favorite wrestler, actually. You know, and I was like, dang man, how you just kick your homie to the curb? I've talked about certain things and wrestlers saying, oh well, we need to do it this way, we need to do it that way. I've talked about these kind of things before. So, like I said, Tommy hasn't said nothing. Some people are defending Tommy, and some people are not. But it does sound a little shaky when you say a cocky black wrestler, when you could have just said a cocky wrestler. The dude is black, but at the same time, you didn't have to say cocky black wrestler. You could have said something else. Tommy, you wish he was dreaming. Just saying. Just saying. TNA is release happy. Yeah, they're release happy because they're getting ready to sell. Apparently, TNA is trying. From what they're saying is, they're trying to sell for like $50 million. Now to WWE, that's pocket change. And I would think that WWE would buy them. They work with, but what would they do to TNA? They work with Evolve. They got NXT. It's WWE. They got WCW. They got all of this other stuff. The LFG, the NIL. They don't, you know, the ABC, the 1, 2, 3 is as simple as do, re, mi. Like, what else do they need at this point? AEW is not going to buy them because Tony's probably upset they work with WWE. They're working with OVW, but OVW is not going to buy TNA. What are they going to do? Brad, what are you going to do? You know, can you school me? Oh, I was talking about Robert Brown was talking about Jade's wig. I was also talking about Roman's reign, and then I was talking about Tommy Dreamer hate. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool. Thank y'all for like hearing me out, because I definitely go on a tangent because I do miss them. But one of the things that I did learn was that like grief doesn't go away, and we deal with it. Some days we can be happy, and some days we can be sad, but grief is not something that goes away. And we crash out because we try to get rid of that grief. But that grief is just with us. And you can grieve and be happy. You can happily grieve. And then you can be sad. And we can talk about it. We can miss them and stuff like that. But we can also be like, I miss the good times, And that's where we go wrong. We just try to make it go away. And that's the worst thing. When we try to make something go away, we try to replace it with people, with alcohol, with dark stuff, with depression, with all kind of things. So to deal with grief, there's therapy, there's prayer, there's church, there's family members and stuff like that. There's definitely ways to deal with it, but it doesn't go away. And that's one of the things that a lot of us mess up with, is that we try to make it go away. And then when it comes back, it hits like a ton of bricks. Because we think that we okay because we thought we got rid of something. Now you can still heal, but sometimes you don't heal properly. Like you tear your ACL, you can heal, but it's never 100%. And that's how grieving can be. Sometimes people say this person was my heart, and when they died, a piece of my heart died with them. And I can understand that I can understand that sentiment. Something to think about. Oh, man. Yeah, TNA is definitely released happy. You laughing at it that it's 50 million is funny to me because that's how everybody is. They're laughing at the fact that it's 50 million. Like, bro, that's it. But still, I don't have 50 million. Shoot, I don't have 8 million. I'm just saying. Man, I'm just killing it, man. I'm just trying. Brad, what are you gonna do? I'm glad you know what that is. Job gonna break down. Hey, Michael wasn't playing, man. That's what that's what you're gonna do with TNA. What are you gonna do? Russell's gonna break down. Hey man, Brad was gonna get fired. But still, I'm glad y'all rock with me, man. Like I said, I'm trying to do more with content. Like I said, if you haven't, look at my vlog of going to Japan. You can skip some parts. Like if you don't even want to look at like the Japan part, you can look at the wrestling part, like the wrestling store and some of the things that I did. I ate at the Ribera Steakhouse and stuff like that. Or you can look at the food, or you can look at what I got from Japan. Like I'm gonna try to timestamp it. I don't usually timestamp things, but I'll do it for this video because it was 30 minutes long. Michael Jackson was trolling before trolling was a thing. He definitely was. 50 is crazy. I was laughing. Yeah, 50 million. If you want TNA, if you want total nonstop action, it's 50 million. Now, obviously, with business standpoint, you got to think about it. If you do buy for 50 million, you may acquire the debt if they are in debt. So, for example, let's say TNA is $100 million in debt, and then you pay $50 million for that company. You may acquire and accrue that $100 million in debt. That's something to think about. You buy something and you owe something. How you buy and owe something at the same time? Break down. Like how? That's crazy. I went to Japan last week. I went with the matriarch and my oldest son, and we were out there for a week. I flew back yesterday. I was supposed to fly back Sunday, but what happened was my flight was delayed, then canceled. Mind you, it got canceled while I was on the plane. I was on the plane and it got canceled. That sounds crazy, though. I've never thought I'd experience being on a plane and it being canceled. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. It was a vacation week where I actually was enjoying a vacation, and it was great. So like I said, if you guys want to watch the vlog, I'm actually at this spot where I need to get my kids. There's some stuff I definitely got to set up when I get home. Yeah, that's what happened, Mr. Arshawn. Japan is 15 hours ahead of us. So like now, right? Today's Tuesday. It's Wednesday in Japan. And what happened was I was supposed to fly out basically Sunday there and actually make it Sunday here, if that makes sense. And the morning I was supposed to fly out, they said that the flight was delayed because it was something going on in Los Angeles for some with maintenance. So I'm like, okay, well, it's a plane, and yeah, I definitely want to make sure it's good enough for me to come home, right? So I go there, I do baggage check and everything. They changed my terminal. They call them gates, but I'm gonna say terminal. They changed my terminal to like the basement part. There's like a little not a basement, but a downstairs terminal. So I go down there, and basically we had to get on the shuttle bus, and the shuttle bus took us to the plane, and then we had to go up some stairs to board the plane. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So I'm sitting on the plane, and we're waiting. Then they said that the plane was too heavy. So they said they had to take off all of our bags, and basically the bags will have to go somewhere else because the bags are heavy. Now I'm going to say this too, sidebar. These people in Japan be having surfboards, bicycles, all of this stuff, 12 bags. Yeah. Of course it was heavy. So they onboarded the bags. So okay, all right, we're sitting here, we're waiting. Then they were saying that the ramp wasn't, the wind was too high, and they said they had to take another ramp, and basically that would have projected us to go to San Francisco. So they would have going to take us to San Francisco, and then from San Francisco, stay on the flight, have to wait for the crew to change, which would have been about an hour or so, to be flown to Chicago, which was 4 hours. So that a 12-hour flight would have went to like probably a 16-hour flight, because you have to wait for everybody to change and stuff, and that stuff's not going to take 10 minutes. It's going to take a while, right? So I'm getting ready to go to San Francisco. I'm like, oh, here we go. Got to go to San Francisco, then got to fly home. So they was like, okay, they made us watch the safety video again. So I'm like, okay, we getting ready to fly. Then they was like, we got to go back to the gate. Go to the gate. Some people basically left. They was like, we want to onboard. So they were saying, okay, if a lot of people want to onboard, that means we got to get their bag, and that means we'll have to cancel. Only a few people did it. Honestly, they were smart for doing this because of what was about to happen to us. So they said we about to leave. I go to sleep for about an hour, y'all. I wake up. Plane is still not moving. I'm still looking. It's not moving. Then they said we'll have to unfortunately cancel. And then they said the next flight would have been yesterday at 9 p.m. Chat. If I would have took that flight at 9 p.m. there, I would have just been getting home today, 7 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, I have to be at work at 7 this morning. So I already had Monday off. I requested Monday off to unwind, but unfortunately, I had to come home Monday, and I'm glad that worked out, but I am tired, but still. Now I'm just trying to get reimbursed for the hotel. Now they're trying not to give me a reimburse, but still. I could be mad and upset, but at the same time, just wasn't meant to be. And maybe something was really wrong with the plane and stuff like that. And, I'm here in One Piece, and I'm not talking about the anime. But still. But yeah, let me go get my kids before I spend another 30 minutes with y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.